Our story begins on the planet Midnight, the Doctor trapped and possessed after a trip to the Sapphire Waterfall, with the Doctor being dragged closer and closer to the door, releasing him into the extonic sunlight. "Throw him out," one woman shouts. "Molto bene," another woman shouts. "It's her. She's using his voice." As she goes to grab Silvestri and open the door, the Professor also runs to his door, aiming to throw out with the Doctor. This releases the pressure, killing everyone in the cabin. Donna is left tired from crying as she sits outside the TARDIS. It's parked at the Leisure Planet's cargo hold. How will she get home? She enters the TARDIS as a hologram appears. Gasping, she walks up near the console. The hologram of the Doctor speaks. "This is Emergency Protocol 1. If this message is activated, it can only mean one thing. We must be in danger, and I mean fatal. I'm dead or about to die with no chance of escape. The TARDIS will take you home. Just leave the TARDIS on a street corner to gather dust, and over time it will be buried." The hologram turns off as the TARDIS slowly takes off. Donna is left speechless. With the TARDIS landing at Donna's home and her street, Wilf steps out of his house as Donna leaves the TARDIS. He runs over to her. As he runs, they both enter the TARDIS. Some time begins to pass as Donna explains what's happened about all their previous adventures leading up to this one, and how she's now left alone. "Well, at least you've still got me," he says, "and there's still a big world out there, sweetheart." The TARDIS shakes and shudders. What was that? Donna stands and opens the door, but the planet's just gone. The shock kicks in as they both now realise that the planet Earth has disappeared right in front of them. They're now stuck in the TARDIS without knowing how to pilot it, and no Doctor in sight. Okay, so now this is where things really start to change. Obviously the Daleks are still going to invade this time, but with no Doctor to stop them. So after the events of this bit of the episode, it's going to carry on as normal. So basically, there's no space call, like the space kind of Facebook call, there's none of that. But everything else, apart from that, carries on as normal. And also, Rose only meets Donna's mom. So after that point, the story can continue to move forward, past, and continue as normal. So, past this point, I'm going to have it that the companions on Earth, like Jack and Martha and Torchwood and Sarah Jane, they're going to find a way to bring the TARDIS to them, just directly to Earth where it was before. So, it lands as it does originally in the episode, except there's one difference. Rose obviously has no Doctor to run to, so she rushes to the TARDIS as the Dalek curves around the corner, projecting its famous "Exterminate!" It fires a shot, killing Rose instantly. Jack appears with a flash, shouting "Rose!" and blasting the Dalek into atoms. Wilf and Donna exit the TARDIS and alongside Jack drag Rose on board. Donna again has to explain to someone else, Jack, what's happened as suddenly the TARDIS powers down and the Daleks drag the TARDIS on board the Crucible, like it originally did at the beginning of Journey's End. Jack, Donna and Wilf leave the TARDIS, leaving Rose's dead body beside the console, but most importantly, beside the Doctor's hand. The Dalek Supreme asks where is the Doctor, as Jack says something along the line as "not here," or some snarky comment. They don't want to inform the Daleks that the Doctor's dead, but obviously he is. As the Dalek Supreme then sends them down to the vault with Davros to be interrogated, or played with as he said originally in the episode. The TARDIS falls down to the heart of the Crucible, but this time, the companions care less. First of all, Rose is dead, and also they think that the TARDIS is dead. They don't know that's just been powered down. So now again, this is kind of a really big turning point and where things get interesting. The TARDIS is set on fire as it enters the core, flames and sparks everywhere. The Doctor's hand in the jar explodes from the pressure, releasing a small amount of regeneration energy, but just enough to bring Rose back to life. Following Rose absorbing the time vortex in Series 1, the regeneration energy sparks this energy out of her, releasing large quantities of the same energy, but instead now surrounding the Doctor's hand. So the events of the Metacrisis Doctor now take place the same as before, when they're kind of hiding in the TARDIS, building that gun, except this time, obviously we're replacing Rose with Donna, but this version of the Meta-Crisis Doctor is less sassy than Donna's version, and it's actually far more emotional because Rose is kind of more clingy and more emotional. That's kind of her character. So the rest of the episode continues as normal as other companions arrive on the Crucible, such as Jackie and Mickey, and obviously then Martha, and the Meta-Crisis Doctor and Rose save the day. After the Earth is safe, everybody leaves as they do. So, Mickey goes off with Martha and Jack, and Jackie returns home to the parallel universe. Except this time, not with Rose. But, she doesn't care that much. She's got Pete. They said there's a baby on the way in Doomsday, so it's fine. She doesn't care that too much. So, and now obviously Rose stays with the Meta-Crisis Doctor in the original universe. Now, this means that the TARDIS team, I'm going to do something a little different here, is a TARDIS team of 4. So obviously it's the Doctor and Rose, and Donna, but also Wilf. He's seen the TARDIS now, he kind of likes it, he knew all about it before, he wants to go visit the stars, so that's where he goes with them. So everything continues as it does, except the Doctor now can't regenerate, and will continue to carry on to age. So for now, this is where I'm going to end our story. It can either kind of go two ways from here, with the Doctor inevitably just dying in the end of time from saving Wilf or whoever it is from the radiation, or it can go down a separate route where before that, the Doctor visits the Sisterhood of Khan, regaining his regenerative abilities back, and then he can stop aging, is basically just the Doctor again. So please leave more suggestions below for future videos, and do leave a like to show me if you want more of these kind of videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye bye.